tete Noma ungasamanja Ngebathande bonke Ay noma ungasamanja Mane. Ay, pendo mane. Se ve afunga, panze va comele, peba baba kolele. Avugele zita ugutinge zedoni, aga konga kuluma. Ugutinge zanga. Nokuthi ngiyahlonipha kuyabahlupha abantu abayifuni tete noma ungazamanje ngeke kuthande bonke awuphendumandumane phendumandumane abantu abayifuni tete noma ungazamanje ngeke kuthande bonke.
Sanbonani and welcome to TrendzLive on SABC News Channel 404, where we bring you the stars, the glamour and the music you love. Now, I am Nkosazana Tambuza, and we're in the middle of Women's Month, and Imbokodo will take center stage as we celebrate the pillars of our nation. Now, remember to interact with us during the show at Trendz on SABC. And as we continue to celebrate the multi-talented females in the creative industry, we continue to shine a spotlight on those who create a beautiful soundtrack to most of our daily activities. And today we celebrate the beautiful voices that make amapiano and house music slap the way it does. Now, all the way from Eshowe in KwaZulu-Natal, a dynamic songstress who goes by the name of Thandeka Ngema, better known as Mauu, started making music with the big hitters of the Llanos and continues to use her distinct voice and spiritually indebted messaging in her music. We are now joined by Mauu in studio to find out more about what she's up to. Sawubona Siswamujani.
Ngiyaphila Siswamujani.
Ngiyaphila. I love your vibe, as I'm sure you've noticed.
Thank you so much.
Now tell us, who is Thandeka Ngema and when did you realize that you're actually destined for greatness?
Thandeka Ngema. My name is Mauu, and Thandeka Ngema igama lami from Eshowe. I'm actually from Eshowe, ilankulele khona. And also, Thandeka Ngema is just a young girl okulele at KZN, emakhaya, and then ngasuka ngaye eThekwini. Also, uqala ukurealize indaba music. I started doing music like recently, but ukuthanda I was still very young. I remember one day ngizoya at the radio station in Asekaya. But it didn't take me serious because I was very, very young at that time. Yeah.
Okay, so now who is Mauu? You've told us about Thandeka.
Yes.
Who is this beautiful Mauu we see today?
We're talking about the songwriter, the performer, and also I create my own music. And also, we're talking about someone spiritually. Every time I make music, I do something spiritually, and also love expressing myself on a beat. Yes.
Absolutely. Now, your first big break was with the likes of Heavy K, Oscar Vore, and Scorpion Kings. Girl, shine!
Thank you.
You know, so just talk to us about that journey. What has it been like since very early in your career to now?
It's just so good. I think first time in the film industry, I think I met someone who was so kind as well, Heavy K, who was so kind to me. And first of all, ngiqale ngasebenza with Mabala Ngibengisane khona, but angihlala ngesikhathi eside khona until ngize ngiba independent, having my whole entertainment. But umuntu obengisiza kakhulu is like DJ Mapolis and Kabza, people abangifaka amapiano, telling me to do this vibe because I remember at first bengithanda kakhulu ukwenza this dancing vibes, you know, I'm from Durban, I'm from KZN.
Yes.
So bengithanda ukwenza lama vibe la ukudansa kakhulu until they realized ukuthi bro, there's this song you did uphumelela, and this song is so very spiritual, iyakhuthaza kakhulu. And Kabza was like, no bro, don't play with us, we want you to do this vibe. And then that's why they like Miga Kulu, and then Nami having my own label pushing on my side while having people on the side.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, that's why
nice.
that's the way I
Oh, that's amazing.
So what have been some of the most challenging moments in your career? I'm sure being a woman, a young woman at that, is not easy.
Yeah, as a woman, we in this village, it's not always going to be easy. You miss people. Sometimes the approach is either people who want to date you, serious, or but mina in Moscow, I don't want to date someone else. And also the challenge also as well. If you understand the business industry, you're getting exploited because you understand which you need to get royalties if you're dropping a song. And also in the being shy, at this moment, I wanted to push my own thing because I didn't trust anyone. We industry, I've seen people be color, abasainile. So mina yona into being shy. So so many people from service because ubefuna sign and mina ngivuma ngwenza njalo. And also into challenge ayo uthole ukuthi omunye yaropa a dropping ngoma first angakutsheli uthi uyafuna percentage akutshela ukuthi didn't do anything and ngiyakutshela ukuthi there's my name there, I write my own music, I need to get my percentage, I need to get ilona as a vocal here because I write my own music, so kumele ngithole everything eyami ungangiropa. So those are things eyibeshayela lapha, but otherwise
you know, you sound like a woman who knows what she wants.
Yes,
and
exactly.
I love it for you.
Yes,
I love it for you. Now today, there's a new single that is out. Tell us more about that one.
This song, it's a beautiful song. Osimoja, it's actually my favorite song. We album ngomhla 18. It's actually my favorite song on the album as well. There's a lot of beautiful songs. Ingoma engenza no Sean, I was actually chilling nje. It's actually a love song, you know. It's chilling in the studio and then they gave me this piece, Mauu, which is a piece we did for you, or Sean, and then we started doing it. Just me, Utibo, and then Kabelo sings, creating the song. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But enjoy it, guys. Actually, it's out right now. Just play it, have fun, download, do whatever you can.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, girl. So it's grooving our.
Yes.
We got you.
Thank
you so much for joining us on the show today. You're an absolute angel.
Thank you.
Now on to a heartwarming and inspirational musical theatre production. The South African State Theatre in Pretoria is hosting the play Lifted, Let the Blind Sing. It's a musical celebration embracing the talents of artists living with a different form of disabilities. Now in this show, cast members narrate their personal experiences on stage. And TrendzLive's Didintle Mokaletse brings us more.
A play that provides a new window to the abilities of the differently abled. From visually impaired to completely blind, these artists were uniquely identified for this production. Blind and singing on street corners, this site made producer Zakele Mabena spot immense talent. What was your vision when you came up with a play of this sort?
There's a group of blind guys that I always pass every time I come to the theater, and they are singing beautiful harmonies, you know, and every time I would pass and throw in a 5 Rand coin. Naturally, being a musician myself, you know, I was asking myself that what are we doing with this great talent that is just on the streets, you know? So I had a feeling or an idea of taking this product and putting it on a main stage or on a professional stage, you know, for the world to see.
This story, told through music and poetry, is rich with tales of personal experiences of disability. Centered around the cast waiting for a bus on a busy street, tear-jerking revelations of strife, struggle, and victory through disability are felt. This brings a new perspective on the realities of these often marginalized groups. Who's on stage?
We've got blind people in the cast. We also have partially sighted. We also have a guy on a wheelchair and one lady whose right arm is amputated. And also we have able people as well. It's unique. It's one of a kind, and it's inclusive. Normally people with different disabilities, they are left out in the entertainment, in the society as a whole.
Even the blind can dream. But the way I interact in my dream world is through imaginations.
I am totally blind. Was blind from birth. I'm this one person who've never seen anything from birth. I'm actually the main character. Of course, my contribution is by spreading a message, telling a story. I usually say it's a golden ticket, to somewhere, up there. Because in as much as I'm looking forward into ascending to the greater heights, it's highly impossible for a person to be self-made, We made out of others, man. We are a universe experiencing each other. So when I get those compliments and people admiring me, I feel like, wow, man, I'm on the game. I'm doing it well.
And of course, putting together a production of this stature couldn't have been easy.
From previous productions, that one has done, that there's a script that you must write and give it to artists to go home and learn the script. But this time is different because of they can't read the script. We don't have a privilege of having it on Braille because not all of them are able to read Braille. So now we had to see how we make the means for them to get the script and follow the show as the director wants it.
Now I can stand!
The other challenge is mobility on stage because with other productions, when you're directing, it's easy for one to say, hey, just move to the left, move to the right. But with them, you have to literally maybe move them and be mindful of your directions.
We are like everyone else. The fact that we have disabilities, it does not mean that we are not humans. We are human beings. We have feelings. We have gifts and talents as well. We can make it.
I'm looking forward for greater things and looking forward in being a well-known artist. But most importantly, I'm looking forward in being a pioneer for the upcoming generations in this thing, since I'm the game changer, since I'm strong and powerful and lifted.
Mission accomplished. Finally, a production that breaks stereotypes on disabilities. Lifted, Let the Blind Sing allows the whole world to evolve into an even more colorful stage for even the differently abled to exclusively express themselves.
I get come on in my life. I say so I'll be elite. I say nothing much, I say much, I say much. I saw singing more shit, the question of us. I say nothing crazy, I get come on in my life. I say so I'll be elite. I say nothing much, I say much, I say much.
Empangeni, born and raised in Gamalake in the South Coast, Thando Lwethu Ngomo, better known as Marlene Aura, is taking the world by storm. Currently based in Durban, the young Afro-soul artist draws inspiration from other great South African queens who came before her and adds all the melodies of nature into creating a musical haven that keeps many dance floors lit. Now, she's with us in studio to tell us more about herself. Welcome, Marlene Aura.
Thank you so much, Nyabonga.
I must say that's a very beautiful name.
Nyabonga.
Can you tell us who is Marlene Aura and how did you break into the industry?
So, Marlene Aura in Nje, who's way Puma Ekamalake, Pochepton, that's a small township. I later on studied music at UKZN. Yes, Howard College. And that's where my career started. I fell in love with the stage there. And then I recorded my first song in 2018.
Yeah.
Yes. The first artist who ever broke me into the industry, if I could say.
Yeah.
It was an Afro-tech artist called Kayenda Soul, Mr. Imali. And that's how I started moving in the music industry scene.
Awesome. Now, what made you change your name from Blackbird to Marlene Aura? And please, can you explain to our viewers what actually Marlene Aura means?
Okay. So the reason why I did that is because I needed something that resonated with me more. Also, the name was starting to be very common. Yeah. You know, and I didn't like that. When I went on to Google, being told, all of a sudden, and I didn't like that. You know, I wanted something close to me, and then you find me and you find my music. Yeah. So that's why I changed it. So the reason why I changed it to Marlene, I wanted to change my name into something that resonated with my music and how I feel when I perform and how I feel when I do my craft.
Yeah.
So Marlene is let it rain.
Yeah.
Let it pour.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I do with my music. My music is very soulful, and I write from the heart. So yeah, it's more or less like a metaphor for my music and my artistry. I pour my heart out.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's such a beautiful name. Wow. And you absolutely do pour yourself out on stage. Now, you draw inspiration from Afro-soul musicians in Mzansi. Can you tell us who they are?
Just to name a few, Umsaki, my favorite female artist in the industry.
I figured.
Yeah, I love that woman's writing and songstress as a whole. Also, Abo Amifaku. I also draw inspiration from Abo Brenda Fassie, Lebo Matosa. Yeah, Guninginji. They are me.
Yeah.
As a whole, yeah.
Yeah. Of course, girl.
Yeah.
Now, you're also a songwriter, but you also perform behind the mic, right? Or in front of the mic, rather.
Yes.
So, which process do you actually enjoy more between the two?
Whew, this question. I like both.
Yeah.
I love performing my music, but I think I'm just gonna choose the songwriting part. I love making it like from scratch. For me, it's incredible how I can take an idea and at the shower and then take it to studio. Next thing, it's like a song that people listen and resonate to. So yeah.
Wow. So now you're now signed to Zakes Bantwini's label.
Yes.
What has this meant for your growth?
It took me on another level. One thing about Zakes, he's a very great mentor. Yeah. You know, he mentors you, he trains you mentally on how to, you know, attack the industry.
Yeah.
Even performance-wise, I take a lot from him with confidence and how to act on stage. Yeah. It's done a lot for me in the industry, and I get to work with so many people, like even in the Afro-tech space. You know, it's put Marlene Aura out there. Yeah, let me just say that.
And just very quickly, what can we expect from you? Where can we watch you perform even?
Okay, so I'll be performing in a few countries, if I can say. Yes, countries. Also, I'll be performing in provinces, different provinces. Mozambique, Lesotho, soon. People must just check out my social media just to see the dates and everything. And also, what you can expect is I'll be releasing a lot of features this year. Yeah. No projects from me this year, but just features. I really want to broaden out my wings, you know, and see Uguti. who can I work with? You know?
And we certainly look forward to it,
Thank you so
girl.
much,
And I look
Lauren.
forward to what you're about to do now. So over to you.
Yeah, well, cool.
Uvela tuge mini na sipsuka tuge. Uvela tuge magi chelo kutakube. Kinyanya pelu mae kamela amanda. Uvela tuge mini na sipsuka tuge. Uvela tuge magi chelo kutakube. Kinyanya pelu mae kamela amanda. Kinyanya pelu mae kamela amanda. Umudamu bela tuge. Ayumudu bela tuge. Umudamu bela tuge. Ah, bela tuge. Umudamu bela tuge. Ah, bela tuge. How are you, bela tuge? Ah, how bela, how standa, musuku, givele.
Onto this story now. Grammy Award-winning singer Erica Campbell from the gospel duo Mary Mary captivated her fans with an exclusive performance in Ilovo, north of Johannesburg, this week during her first visit to South Africa. Now, this event served as a sneak peek into her upcoming album, I Love You, which is scheduled for release on the 15th of September. South Africans fan had the incredible opportunity to be the first to experience Erica's soulful melodies and powerful lyrics firsthand. Now, show producer Asanda Zondi got up close and personal with her. Let's take a look.
You definitely know her from the Mary Mary duo. She is a gospel artist and songwriter. Her sister is Tina Campbell. Last clue, I just can't give up now. Come too far from where I started from. Ladies and gentlemen, in South Africa for the first time, I introduce to you Erica Campbell, joining us here on TrendzLive to talk about the evolution of gospel, her career, and where it's going. Welcome, Erica.
Actually, I'm on vacation with my husband, who's working with a group called Jesus Collective. But I figured I'm here. Why not play my record for the people of SA? So, I'm working.
How are you finding it so far?
Amazing. Just people are wonderful. Just when I landed, me and my husband both just took a deep breath like, we're home. That's genuinely how I felt. I started writing probably 98. I got a publishing deal. We wrote some songs for some soundtracks, some movies, and then we wrote Shackles, and that was literally my first introduction. We got signed to Columbia, and the rest is history. My faith guides everything. God is my creator, so he's my strength, he's my help, he's my hope, he's my answer, he's my solution, he's my light, he's my foundation. And when you know that, even when you encounter something, you know you have someone greater than you. So I wrap that in my music. So no matter what storm or test or trial or adversity, I know that it'll serve a purpose in my life. So there's always a string of hope through my life, and my hope is in Christ. So I wrap that in music because everybody needs hope.
The evolution of gospel music, are we going to see it grow, or the future is quite bleak? What can you say about it?
Oh, no, it's absolutely growing. There are some amazing gospel artists in the States and even here that are doing really great things, that are shaking up some things, that have a different brand of gospel. You'll always have your traditional because there's always room and space for that. But there are those of us who have been called to stretch and do things a little different, because my job is to take the light to the darkness, because that's where it's most effective. So they can play it anywhere, and it's going to make impact because of the power of God in the music. I don't see it as bleak. I have great expectations and a lot of hope.
How do you make sure that your sound is unique and as well received by the audience? How do you make sure that you relate through your music to the listeners, to your fans, to your followers?
You know, you just have to be honest. So I don't compare. I don't look at what else is going on. I literally pray and go, okay, Father, what do you want me to sing about? And I'm singing from my story, my sound. No one has my voice. You know, no one writes like me. So I can always be confident in being my authentic self. And I think after 20 years of making music, there's something that is uniquely me that I know is necessary in the earth. So I stand in that truth.
If you are a gospel artist and a gospel singer, do you have to be a believer?
So if it's a hip hop artist, but he's a rich doctor, you wouldn't believe he was a hip hop artist because there's a culture and a lifestyle that goes along with it. You know, there's a look, there's a sound, there's things that they talk about. As a believer, how can I talk about my hope in Christ if I have no hope in Christ, right? Your music is not going to affect the power of God because you don't believe it. There are some people who are singing it but don't believe it, and the scripture says if you don't believe, you will perish.
The new album, what is it titled and what is it all about?
The album is called I Love You. It is my love for God, it is God's love for me, and it is my love for people. I just feel like if we infuse love in your life, love for yourself, look in the mirror and say, I love me. I love how God created me, no matter your hair, your size, your color, your eyes. Appreciate yourself, appreciate the Creator, and you wrap all of that in love. And it makes impact. And so I'm excited to share this record with everybody.
I think that's where everyone started with Mary, Mary, get the shackles off my feet so I can dance. We all know that one. That is a classic.
Shackles on my feet so I can dance.
The shackles on my feet so I can dance. Yeah, that song was playing on, I think, Channel O, was playing on, you know, secular TV here in SA. So I remember being like, damn, who are these guys? And ever since then, just following their journeys. I remember watching their reality TV show as well. So yeah, it's been really amazing, man.
Mary, Mary, Shackles is the song that actually made me to start following her, and is the song that even today still speaks to me.
Hey there, I'm Erica Campbell, and you're watching TrendzLive on SABC News.
Usurper Gallery in Rivera, Johannesburg continues to celebrate Women's Month with a month-long art exhibition showcasing creative work by women. Now, due to underrepresentation of women in this field of art, the showcase, which includes digital arts, is to celebrate and pay tribute to Women's Month in South Africa. Our producer Kedimule Molusi visited the gallery.
Inspired by the freedom to let the mind wander, this showcase, themed In the Clouds, is curated by women. It also features art pieces created by South African female artists who have incorporated traditional art of paintings with cutting-edge technology.
Usurpa is actually the first digital gallery in South Africa and to show NFTs. And so with them and the help of the Samsung screens, we're able to display the digital art. Before, if you wanted to display digital art, you kind of would have to like do prints only, but now you're able to display it on these kind of screens. But also if you have like animated works, you can display it how it needs, like how it's supposed to look versus like just printing out a still from it, you know.
This is only happening for Women's Month. What then after that?
Women definitely should be celebrated all the time, and like that's just at the forefront. We're always trying to push African women wherever we can. So we are going to work on more shows and try and create more opportunities. But now that we've onboarded some more artists from here, like maybe they can come together and create and put on shows out here and like help other artists learn about this process, and then it can just keep spreading and keep growing, because like this is important technology and like we don't want to be left behind while everyone else is, you know, getting in on it. So I think everyone would just naturally spread it out to their peers.
These esteemed artists, whose work is featured in the exhibition, showed admiration to the steadily growing inclusion and recognition of women in the arts.
I'm so glad. It's amazing to see your work in real life, because as an artist, a digital artist, I've always been seeing my work being exhibited internationally, but this is the first time, because of spaces like this, I get to see my digital art exhibited on a screen locally. That is a digital painting that I animated. So with that piece, it's titled He'll Text Back Soon, and it's talking about, in talking stages, especially with the theme in the clouds that this exhibition has, talking about, aspirations, hopes, and the delusions you might have, especially when it comes to relationships. So with that painting, I wanted to show that delusion of when you can see that someone, you're texting someone who you're hoping will be interested in you, but because they start replying a little bit later and not responding to you, you still have that hope that something will come out of it, but you kind of know that, oh, no, that thing is going to come out of that sort of relationship.
This is a painting installation that I have done where I've hand-prepared lace paper with the material lace, and then I've painted over it. And yeah, it's a physical painting that I did, and then I was working with the powerhouse that is Usurpa, and they digitized it.
What inspired this, your love for art?
I think the therapy of it, I think the actual activity of art making, for me, I find to be extremely therapeutic and I think satisfying, like seeing something come from an idea in your head and seeing it manifest into like the physical. But I think also what inspired me to take it from a hobby to something that I do is, I remember when I was still studying and I did visual arts in high school, I had an amazing teacher named Mr. Nkomo who took my class and I on artist studio visits. And it was the first time that I encountered artists working and living as art, like art is the thing that feeds them. I had never imagined that this thing that I enjoy doing with my hand, just based off of my ideas and my experiences, can give me like that level of freedom and exposure to the world. More than just myself, I think it's beneficial for like younger Black women who are just sitting there with a skill that they're not sure where to take. Because I remember when I started out, I studied architecture first, and then I had to switch. I made the decision to switch to fine arts, and it was difficult to explain that to my family because they didn't have a reference of like a Black female artist where they can say, okay, this is the kind of life that I want you to live. Their perspective and understanding of what artist and what painting is was like maybe the people on the side of the road selling paintings type of thing. So they didn't think that there's a future here or there's anything. So I think all of these things that are happening are affirming that this is important and that there's room for your skills and your ideas, not just for me, but for all the young women coming after me.
I hope you're enjoying the show as much as I am tonight. Well, do stick around for more after the break. Affectionately known as Miss Hillary by fans and the music industry at large, Dinyiko Hillary Khoza is back to thrill vast audiences. Now, the 2022 Satma Awards Best Traditional Social Media Influencer has released a new EP album titled Best of Both Worlds. The Sitonga musician and choreographer was intentional with this album. In studio, we are joined by Miss Hillary herself to tell us all about her musical journey. How are you, lady?
I'm good. How are you?
I am awesome. Now, who is Miss Hillary?
Well, besides being this beautiful, Miss Hillary
yes,
is
girl.
a young lady born and raised in Soweto. I am an entertainer, all-round entertainment, so yeah.
Oh, wow, that's actually interesting that you were born in Soweto, but you insist in singing in your authentic Sitonga language. Why is this?
I think it all begins at home, my background and, just how I grew up. Family I was born into is a very proud, family, and we preserved our culture and traditions, hence this is me today.
Oh, wow. And now the best of both worlds. Yeah, congratulations. Okay.
Thank you.
Can you talk more about that? What inspired this particular title?
It describes who I am. So I said, if I'm coming into the music industry, what better way than to be myself? Best of both worlds simply means the traditional side and the modern side, because as cool as I am, I'm still a traditional, young person. So yeah, I'm just conveying who I am.
Wow, and we don't see that a lot nowadays,
Because it's not cool being traditional. Yeah.
I absolutely love that you're so entrenched in your roots. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, now what inspires your craft and your sound?
I could say, like I said, I was born into an entertainment family.
Yeah.
We listened to a whole lot of traditional sounds, but my grandfather was also, a very woke person. So he introduced different sounds to us. And with my sound, I just wanted to describe who I am and just give people another piece of me. Yeah.
Now, you're very strong about combining education with your passion. Yeah, can you tell us more about this in your journey?
Well, for me, I'm just someone who likes being educated. I love education. I love learning. Not only, just the education side, but I love learning about other traditions, cultures. So I am deeply rooted in, studying. Hence, I've got my BA degree as well as my postgrad. And I'm still looking into, going further with it. But I also believe it helps me make sound decisions with my career.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And clearly that has worked in your favor because you're a lady with many accolades.
Hi.
Can you tell us how the social media platforms, though, have contributed to your music and your success?
I think at first you just had to, make people aware that there's Hillary and Hillary does this. At first, people were not as receptive because it's like, what are you trying to do? How are you dancing Spelani in Amapiano?
Yeah.
But they saw the vision, they saw the picture, and with any other thing, it was not a matter of dividing, but of saying we are one and we're united. So I think it warmed up a lot of people, and hence, people are supporting and, constantly listening to my music and streaming. Yeah.
Yeah, and do you have a message for young people out there? I think you're so inspirational, really. Sticking to your roots like this, so firmly. What would you like to say to young people out there?
Well, for me, it's simple. If you want to do anything, if you want to achieve anything, it all begins with who you are at heart and where you come from. If you want to do something, go for it. Regardless of what somebody else is going to say, trust me, do what your heart tells you to do.
Ah, beautifully said.
Thank you.
And you are literally the true meaning of dynamite comes in small packages. Yes! You are absolutely energetic on stage. Now, please, can you serenade us?
As I.
Now in Johannesburg, the Cirque Shop in the Cresta Shopping Centre is hosting a burlesque show called La Bella in honour of Women's Month. In this play, we saw singing, comedy, tap, dancing, gymnastics, acrobatics. The list goes on and on. Now, one thing is for sure, though, after seeing this, you are going to book your first visit to a burlesque show. Take a look.
This riveting performance captures a kaleidoscope of emotions that weave the intricate tapestry of women's lives. From tales of passion and betrayal to moments of drama and excitement, La Bella offers an invitation to explore courage, delve deep within oneself and unveil an inner strength that knows no limits. This is an unforgettable showcase that celebrates the power and resilience of women in all their glory.
What we do in the show is aerial and burlesque dancing. So we're up in the air doing crazy things, lifting each other, dropping from the sky, and then we do a lot of cabaret burlesque style, which is a very sensual style, very flirty, very sassy style of dance, but very sensual as well. So it allows women to express themselves and use that sensuality through the movement of burlesque.
Would you say this type of dancing, burlesque, is it demeaning to women or is it empowering?
No, it's definitely empowering. And we've seen it when we perform on stage. The more comfortable we feel as women performing, the more comfortable the audience feels. Suddenly women feel empowered, they feel sexy, they feel like it's okay to be sensual and sexy. And that's what this is about. It's allowing a woman to feel that, and it's okay to feel it. It's no removal of clothing in the show particularly, but it's just that style of being sensual. And of course men enjoy it because it is sexy, it's visually appealing for men, but we find at the end of the show, which you'll experience, is it's more an emotional show for women. It's telling women that it's okay to express, it's okay to be beautiful, and it's okay to look at yourself and say, I am beautiful. We don't need to get it from anybody else.
If I'm a woman and I'd like to try it, what is it that I should know about it, the benefits?
It works emotionally as a style of dance, which I found is so beneficial for all women.
Okay, let's talk about the show, La Bella. For how long is this going to go on, and what can people expect?
The show is about, we talk about relationships in the show. It takes us on a journey through losing yourself in a relationship because you think that somebody else can remind you of the star that you are and love you the way you think you need to be loved. So you invest everything you can in your partner, in your relationships. And then it takes a bit of a turn where it becomes a bit of a dark relationship and it's controlling and possessive, and almost to say, you don't need to be that little star, you're my star. You know, you don't need to shine, I'll speak for you. You know, just be my beautiful trophy girl. And it happens in society where women are suppressed in a sense, where they can't be empowered because it's intimidating to be a powerful woman. And so the show continues where she discovers that this is not what I want. It's not, I don't recognize myself as this person. So she decides to kind of follow her dreams to become a star, and she travels the world and becomes famous and has all the jewels and all the love from her audience and her spectators. And at the end of the show, she realizes once again she feels empty because it's external love, it's things, it's materialistic things. And actually what she wants is to look at herself in the mirror and say, you are the person I love, you are the person I identify with, you are okay to be you don't need to be anybody else.
And like everybody says, if you cannot beat them, join them. This is why I look like this, so glorious, like a burlesque dancer, right? Yeah. I'm at the backstage, and before the performance starts, let's talk about your role in today's performance. What is it?
So I play the character Foxy, and she is just kind of taking you on a journey with her as she goes through meeting this guy and thinking that he's the love of her life and she's eventually safe and going to be loved, and then things get a little bit dark and toxic, and you know, she ends up having to make a decision to fight for her life and get back on her own 2 feet and discover who she really is and to love herself for it.
Okay, so by narrating a dance performance, how do you do that?
So it's quite interesting. I'm also the singer of the show, so we use a combination of dialogue and singing and dance and movement to tell the story. So, you know, it's really amazing how we've infused it to kind of like pull the story through using all 3 of these elements.
Also, burlesque dancing is an excellent way of looking after your mental health and well-being. You will learn about self-love and body appreciation, a benefit to your overall health.
This has been so important for my mental health, for my physical health, meeting a group of friends, meeting people from really different backgrounds and just expanding my mind and my horizons. It's really been just great in every way.
The classical music sector has long been dominated by men, a situation only amplified for the classical saxophonists. The sexism in the industry is slowly but surely changing. Look at this.
Females want to come out, but when you do come out, as myself, I always feel like I need to fight my way as a woman in a group of men. That's how I feel that women don't come out more because of that space. Today, I'm in the second half, coming out in our most beautiful outfits. You'll see it. I'm with Danica, which we're doing like 4 songs together. So it's a beautiful movement.
Girls, what can you say to your peers just to motivate them and other aspiring dancers?
Honestly, they shouldn't care what people think, because I feel like if you care what people think, it's just going to bring you down and your energy is going to go down.
All the girls out there should express themselves this month to be who they are, and don't let anybody bring that down.
And just like that, we wrap up the show. It's been an amazing one. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you again next week, Friday at 8 p.m. only on SABC News. Now, I leave you with a dynamic performance from the one and only Miss Hillary. Enjoy.
Banani